Joining me today is Robert Ross, CEO of Xpediator, the international freight management business provider. Thank you for joining me today, Robert.
Thank you for having me.
Now, first of all, congratulations on your recent appointment as CEO. How are you settling into the role?
Thank you. Yeah, it's only been 5 days, so I'm absolutely delighted to have been appointed following a period of 3 or 4 months as joint interim CEO. Feel like I'm settling in well following that interim period. It's a fantastic business, Xpediator. We've got lots of great people, which is our biggest asset. Lots of good services, lots of good products. Really looking forward to the COVID sort of travel restrictions ending, so I can go out and meet as many people as possible out in Romania and Lithuania and Bulgaria and also around the UK. But just really excited to have been appointed. So thank you.
Amazing. Now, just to give some context before we touch on this morning's news, could you give us an overview of Xpediator just for those investors that may be unfamiliar with the company?
Yeah, sure. So it's a logistics and freight management company that splits into 3 key divisions, the largest of which, in around 75% of the turnover, is freight forwarding. So that's predominantly road freight, but also air freight and sea freight between the UK and Europe and within Europe and also within the UK. So that's, as I say, the largest and most profitable area of our business. We also have a logistics and warehousing division, which is split between the UK warehousing in Southampton, in Beckton and in Braintree, and also Romania, where we have the Palex franchise and also a number of warehouses in Romania. And then the third division is our Transport Solutions division, which trades under the brand of Affinity. So that's a one-stop shop for hauliers, so fuel cards, insurance, ferry crossings. And together that's the group.
Amazing. Now, this morning you announced the acquisition of NIDD Transport, a company first established in 1984. Could you provide an overview of NIDD Transport?
Yes, so NIDD is based in the north of England. It's approximately 11 million turnover, and that turnover splits around 7 million, which is European road freight, about 3.5 million, which is domestic transport within the UK, and then around 500,000 of warehousing.
Now, you've said the acquisition is expected to be immediately earnings enhancing and that it also complements the business. In what way is this true, and what geographical synergies within this enlarged entity do you see emerging?
Yeah, so NIDD Transport made £500,000 of pre-tax profit in the year to the 30th of April 2020. So from that perspective, it'll be earnings enhancing for us. It's also a sort of missing piece of our jigsaw, I suppose, from the UK. We have regular services to Italy that we launched recently, to Germany, and to also our core Central and Eastern European markets, where we have a very strong product. So this adds France and Spain and Portugal, so daily departures to France and to Spain, something that we don't currently provide our customers from the UK. So from that perspective, it'll be very positive for our UK freight forwarding product. From NIDD's perspective as well, they really only sell France and Spain to their existing customer base. So we're able to offer them the rest of Europe, and particularly with our strengths in Central and Eastern Europe, but also our air freight and sea freight products to their customers. So we definitely see a lot of potential for sort of cross-fertilisation between the 2 customer bases. Also, we don't have any presence in the north of England really at all. We have a very small office in Bradford and an office in Birmingham, being the next most northern. So this gives us a collection and delivery business in the north of England, which is fantastic. It's how we want to build our business, either through franchises or through acquisitions throughout the UK. So for us, it's a really good strategic fit.
Now, with the current pandemic and also Brexit around the corner, what's your plan for integrating NIDD with the rest of the group at a time like this?
Yeah, so there are those 2 major sort of challenges for the business and for the group as a whole. From a COVID perspective, NIDD's actually traded okay through the COVID period. It's sort of back to where it was from a pre-COVID perspective, which is great to see. They've been preparing for Brexit as well, but this acquisition really gives us the opportunity and them the opportunity to develop their Brexit preparations. So we're more advanced than them in a Brexit preparation perspective. So we'll be working very closely with the senior management team and with Tony, the owner, who's staying for a 6-month period, a 6-month handover period. And from an integration perspective, there really isn't a huge amount to integrate. as I say, from a geographical perspective, we have nothing in the north of England really, apart from as I say, a small office in Bradford. And from a product perspective, we don't really overlap either. So we don't have much in the way of UK distribution from the north of England, nor do we have the France and Spanish products. So we will spend the rest of this year really learning and understanding the business. There will be some operational synergies that come out of it. So, for example, co-loading our freight that goes to France and to Spain. We have a small amount at the moment. Co-loading our with our Italian and German services, and also looking to sort of educate both sales forces about the new products that we can offer the respective customer bases.
Mm. And how important is this acquisition for your overall growth strategy?
Yeah, so when Xpediator listed sort of 3 or 4 years ago, it was under a sort of buy and build strategy. So we're wanting to make acquisitions. We've done 5 so far, and we haven't done any for over a year. So this is the first one, which is fantastic. We're a very ambitious business. We're keen to grow. We have sort of aspirational sales targets to get towards a £1 billion turnover company in the next 5 years. This is a step to do that. Yes, it adds £11 million of turnover. But it's really what else it brings us in terms of quality of product to our customers. That's the main thing, really. You know, as I say, we're an ambitious company, really keen to drive the business forward. You know, quality of product is really the most important aspect for me. Whilst the turnover target is aspirational, it's really, as I say, driving quality in our business and also driving that bottom line profit number.
Yeah. And what is your outlook for the coming 6 months? What can we expect from Xpediator?
So yeah, it's been a pretty sort of challenging year. So obviously with the COVID impacting the business, but we performed well. We had a good first half set of results. We were ahead of last year in terms of the first half. The next 6 months is really a continuation of all the good things that we're doing at the moment. So finalising integrations within the UK. Developing the NIDD business and sort of getting our arms around that and understanding it. From an overseas perspective, the business units are largely all performing very well and have reacted and rebounded well from the COVID period. So just continuing to develop their businesses. Palex is performing very well. Romanian Logistics is performing very well. Lithuania and Bulgaria are both performing extremely strongly. So just continuing that, driving quality into the business. And from my perspective, just being really clear on the group strategy and also the values of the company. So those are the 2 areas for me personally to focus on over the next 6 months, really, to make sure we're very clear on the strategy and very clear on the company values, what we stand for and how we want to sort of operate, really.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming on today's podcast, Robert, and we wish you the best of luck for the year.
Thanks very much.